On a fateful Sunday, Storm Daniel unleashed its fury upon Libya, leading to one of the most catastrophic events in the country's history. This storm led to the devastating floods in eastern Libya, particularly in the port city of Derna, a city with a population close to 100,000. Two crucial dams in Derna collapsed, releasing an onslaught of water, likened to a tsunami, that swept through the city. Entire neighborhoods vanished and whole families were washed away. Tens of thousands have been displaced from their homes and an estimated 20,000 people are believed to be dead. This storm was no ordinary rain event. It was a Mediterranean hurricane-like system, referred to as a medicane. Within a mere 24-hour period, it dumped more than 400 mm of rain on parts of the northeast coast, an amount that significantly exceeds the region's monthly average for September. Such rain would be challenging for any city to manage, but the failure of the two dams exacerbated the situation. The Wadi Derna River, which usually runs dry for most of the year, was overwhelmed, leading to the destruction of bridges and massive torrents of water gushing into the city. According to some locals, the initial impact of the floods might have been less severe had the dams held up. The amount of debris in the floodwaters, coupled with the sudden release of millions of tons of water, significantly amplified the disaster. The water was reportedly almost 3 meters deep in some places, an astounding figure considering it takes just 20 centimeters of moving water to knock a person off their feet. An inquiry into the structural integrity of these dams is vital. Preliminary observations suggest they were made of dumped and compacted soil or rocks, which are notably less robust than concrete. Such dams, especially when poorly maintained, are particularly susceptible to overtopping. Many engineers claim that the upper dam's failure was the precursor to the catastrophic flood event. Once it was breached, the massive rush of water traveled towards the lower dam, overwhelming it. The city's unique geographical location between mountains and the sea left it vulnerable to such a sudden influx of water. A research paper from the previous year by civil engineering expert Abdulwani Zayar Ashur had already flagged Derna's flood risk. The paper emphasized the need for regular maintenance of the dams to prevent catastrophic events. But why weren't these warnings heeded? The answer, tragically, may lie in Libya's political instability. Ever since the ousting of Muammar Gaddafi in 2011, Libya has grappled with a power vacuum, with two rival governments vying for control. Gaddafi's policies in the late 1970s and 80s centered on dismantling Libya's private sector through state-owned enterprises. These state companies morphed into patronage networks. Post-Gaddafi, the continued political conflict between the two main factions prevented long-term infrastructural investments. The city of Derna, already beleaguered post-Gaddafi, was further neglected. Whether under the reign of the Islamic State or its recapture by Haftar in 2016, infrastructure investment was scarce. Despite the dire warnings from experts, the political environment prevented critical preventative actions. The political struggles extended to the local level. Municipal city council elections were scheduled in Derna. However, political tensions and threats of violence disrupted the electoral process. The dams, constructed in the 1970s, were accidents waiting to happen. Not only were they old, but they were also built close to densely populated areas. An academic article in 2022 sounded alarms about the state of the dams. Funds were allocated for dam maintenance, but an audit revealed little was used for its intended purpose. To further compound the tragedy, as Storm Daniel approached, no evacuation orders were given. Instead, a curfew was imposed, a testament to the reactive, rather than proactive, stance taken by the authorities. The international community has now taken notice. The UN remarked that most human casualties could have been avoided had proper warnings been issued, and had evacuations been conducted in a timely manner. Beyond the immediate loss of life and property, the floodwaters bring another lurking danger: disease. Contaminated water could lead to outbreaks, further straining Libya's already beleaguered healthcare system. Some analysts doubt whether Derna can recover. The scale of the damage is so severe that it may not be viable for reconstruction, potentially leading to the permanent displacement of its inhabitants. Many also suggest that given the deeply entrenched political divides in Libya, integrating up to 80,000 displaced individuals elsewhere might be a challenge. The tragedy of Derna is not just about a natural disaster but a potent blend of climatic events and human negligence. The political fragmentation and the years of conflict have left the nation's infrastructure in shambles, making it vulnerable to such catastrophes. While the immediate concern is rescue and relief, the longer-term challenge for Libya will be to address its deep-rooted political divisions. Only then can it hope to rebuild its infrastructure and safeguard its cities from future disasters. The world watches as Libya grapples with this immense tragedy. The hope is that it serves as a wake-up call for the country to prioritize the well-being and safety of its citizens over political squabbles. Thanks for watching Middle East Info. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, comment, share and subscribe.